Basal ganglia is classified under two categories. One is traditional grouping and other one is clinical grouping. Now, the structures which are involved in traditional grouping are thalamus, lentiform nucleus and caudate nucleus. These are the structures which are involved in traditional grouping, and the structures which are involved in clinical grouping are cortex and thalamus and lentiform nucleus and subthalamus, and that it is substantia nigra. These are the structures which are involved in clinical grouping, that is cortex to thalamus to lentiform nucleus and subthalamus and substantia nigra. These are the basic classifications of traditional grouping and clinical grouping, which includes basal ganglia, and how these cortex, thalamus and lentiform nucleus and subthalamus and substantia nigra are interlinked together. Let us discuss that one. First, this basal ganglia includes thalamus, caudate nucleus, lentiform nucleus and cortex and subthalamus and substantia nigra. These are the structures which are includes basal ganglia, that are thalamus, caudate nucleus, cortex, subthalamus, substantia nigra. And if we discuss the connections which are present in the clinical grouping of basal ganglia is first, that is let us consider this is a left side of cerebral hemisphere, that is cerebral cortex. This is a cerebral cortex, and this is called lentiform nucleus. This lentiform nucleus is internally divided into two parts. One is putamen and other one is globus pallidus, and this is a thalamus and this is a subthalamus. This is a subthalamus and it is substantia nigra. These all are components of left cerebral hemisphere, and this is left lentiform nucleus, and it is left side of thalamus, and it is subthalamus, and it is left side of substantia nigra. And if we discuss the connections of this clinical grouping, that is first one, there is a special type of fibers which are starting in the cerebral cortex and will be ending in the putamen. This special type of fibers are called, this is called cortex and this is lentiform nucleus, and it is called this cortex. Once again, this is a cortex and this is a lentiform nucleus, and the fiber which is arising from this cortex to the putamen is called corticostriatal fibers. Corticostriatal fibers. Corticostriatal fibers, that is, which are arising from cortex, and this is a striatum in which it involves caudate nucleus, and these fibers are called corticostriatal fibers. And there are one more special type of fibers which are arising from this lentiform nucleus into the thalamus. This is there is a special fiber which is arising from the lentiform nucleus into the thalamus. It is called putamen thalamic fibers. Putamen thalamic fibers, in which are arising in putamen and enters into the thalamus, is called putamen thalamic fibers. And there is one more fiber in which is arising in thalamus and will be ending in the cortex. There are two fibers, three type of fibers. This is called corticostriatal fibers, and this is putamen thalamic fibers, and these are thalamocortic fibers. Thalamocortico fibers, because these are arising in thalamus and ending in cortex, is called thalamocortico fibers. These are corticostriated fibers, putamen thalamic fibers, and thalamocortic fibers. And these fibers which are arising from the cerebral cortex will stimulate special type of neurotransmitter that is called glutamate. This glutamate is a special neurotransmitter which is stimulated and will be produced in putamen. As a result, now the concentration of glutamate, which is secretory neurotransmitter, this is secretory neurotransmitter which is released into the putamen. Here the concentration of glutamate will be increased. Now this fiber will contain the special type of neurotransmitter, that is GABA. This special type of neurotransmitter, that is GABA, is inhibitory neurotransmitter. This is inhibitory neurotransmitter. Now the GABA which is produced, now the GABA from this putamen thalamic fibers, the GABA which is inhibitory neurotransmitter will be entering into the thalamus. As a result, the inhibitory substance will be blocked here. The inhibitory substance will be blocked here, and when it is blocked, there is a special type of fiber, that is thalamocortico fibers, which are present in thalamus, which is ending into the cortex. Now whenever the inhibitory substance is ended in this condition, it have capacity to initiate or stimulate the glutamate. It will initiate or stimulate the glutamate from thalamus to the cerebral cortex. As a result, when this cycle is going on, the glutamate production will be more. Glutamate production will be increased in the result in cerebral cortex, and it will be resulting in movement. It results in the movement. Results in movement of the body. Now, this entire process is called direct process, but there is no usage of this subthalamus and substantia nigra. If we discuss about this substantia nigra and subthalamus, this is direct process, and here there is, if we discuss about the indirect process, this is the fiber, that is corticostriated fiber, in which it carries the glutamate. Now, this glutamate, as we discussed, that this globus pallidus consists of two parts. This is globus pallidus externa, this is globus pallidus interna. Now, the corticostriated fibers are starting from cortex to the putamen, and there is one more special type of fibers in which are arising in putamen and will be ending in the globus pallidus externa. These special type of fibers are consist of GABA neurotransmitter, which is inhibitory neurotransmitter. Now, this fiber which is ended in the globus pallidus externa, now from here there is a special fiber which is arising in globus pallidus into the subthalamus. Into the subthalamus, there is special fiber in which is arising in globus pallidus externa and will be entered into the subthalamus, and it is also carrying the GABA neurotransmitter, which is inhibitory neurotransmitter. Now, from here from subthalamic region, there is one more fiber which is arising, in which it will be starting from the subthalamus and will be entered into the it will be starting from the subthalamus region and will be entered into the globus pallidus interna. Now, whenever this fiber which is entered into the globus pallidus interna, there is one more fiber which is arising in the globus pallidus interna, and this globus pallidus interna will start from this and will be entered into the thalamus. It will be entered into the thalamus. From thalamus, there is one more type of fiber which is arising in the thalamus and will be ending in the cortex. This is called thalamocorticofibers, and this is, in this pathway there is a utilization of subthalamus. It is utilization of subthalamus. This is a corticostriated fibers in which it carries the glutamate, which is secretory neurotransmitter, and will be released in the putamen. And this putamen, from this putamen there is a special fiber which is arising and will be entered into the globus pallidus externa. This is second fiber and this is the first fiber. And whenever this second fiber which is released into the globus pallidus externa. This is inhibitory neurotransmitter. From here the inhibitor level will be accumulated here. Then the inhibition will be blocked in this area. Now there is one more decrease. There is one more fiber which is arising in globus pallidus externa, which is entering into the subthalamus, and it is also contains inhibitory neurotransmitter, that is GABA. Now this is third fiber, and there is one more fiber that is which is arising from the subthalamus and will be enter into the globus pallidus interna, and it consists of glutamate, and which is secretory function, and which is entered into the globus pallidus interna. Now this globus pallidus interna have one more fiber which is arising from the globus pallidus interna and will be released into the thalamus. This special type of fiber, in which it consists of inhibitory neurotransmitter. This is inhibitory neurotransmitter, that is GABA. Now this neurotransmitter will be accumulated in this area, in the thalamus. As a result, now the glutamate, which is secretory neurotransmitter level, will be decreased. Whenever the inhibitory neurotransmitter is accumulated in the thalamus, now the thalamocortical fibers, which are consisting of glutamate, pumping into the cortex. As a result, there will be decreasing of this glutamate, and the movement will be decreased. Here the movement will be increased, and here the movement will be decreased. And this process is called indirect process. First we discussed the direct process, and this is indirect process. But here there is no function of this substantia nigra. But what is the function of this substantia nigra is, it is helpful in both direct process and indirect process. Now this substantia nigra consists of special receptors, that are dopamine receptors. Now there are two different types of receptors. That is D1 receptor and D2 receptor. The first function of this D1 receptor is, whenever this dopamine is activated, this glutamate will be increased. As a result, ultimately the movement of this person will be increased and movement of limbs will be increased. Whenever this function of this D2 is dopamine, whenever the dopamine level is decreased in indirect process, either it may be direct or indirect process, then the glutamate formation will be decreased and the movement of the body will be decreased. This is the function of basal ganglia, which is involved in movement of the body. And there is one more disease, that is Parkinson's disease. How this Parkinson's disease is related with this function of basal ganglia, that is direct process and indirect process. In Parkinson's disease, which is arised or which is produced because of malfunction of or decrease in function of this substantia nigra. First condition, if the substantia nigra function is increased, then ultimately the dopamine production will be increased. Whenever this dopamine function will be increased, this dopamine is a neurotransmitter which is accumulated in the putamen, and as a result there will be more production of glutamate and there will be more movement. There will be more production of this movement, and if there is decrease in if there is decrease in this function of this substantia nigra, then there will be less production of dopamine. When there is less production of dopamine, the accumulation of our neurotransmitter, that is dopamine, will be decreased. As a result, the glutamine function will be decreased and there will be hypo movement. This hypo movement. In this way, the Parkinson's disease is related with this basal ganglia that is involved in the movement.